There's a battle going on within the food industry of America. Many of us are conscious of the growing debate between eating organic and consuming industrial processed foods. According to a study taken last year, there are over 160,000 fast food restaurants who serve over 50 million people per day. These fast food restaurants generate about $110 billion in revenue per year. The Organic Trade Association, however, projected that the organic food revenue of 2012 reached a little over $30 billion. So as you can see, the industrial processed food are the more prevalent and dominant food source here in America. Today I want to talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons of eating organic and eating industrial processed foods, and I hope some of this information can help you out. So what is organic and what are processed foods? Well, in biology, organic is defined as anything having an extra carbon molecule. In today's society, however, organic is seen as being as close to nature as possible without the use of man-made synthetics such as pesticides, hormones, genetically modified engineering, and other toxic chemicals which are used and consumed in today's manufactured foods. Processed foods, however, are easily recognizable. They come in packages, cans, boxes, and have tons of added ingredients which are found on the back nutrition label. Also, these products do not have an organic food label on them. Now, one reason why processed foods are a big part of the American lifestyle is its convenience. Processed foods are cheap, they're easy to prepare, and they have a long shelf life and actually taste very good. We live very busy and hectic lives, and these processed foods serve as a quick and easy way to prepare meals for ourselves as well as our family. Now, when it comes to eating organic, finding these foods can be a bit difficult to attain at your local grocery stores, and it can also be a bit high in terms of price. Natural food stores are not as prevalent as grocery stores or fast food restaurants. Now, a lot of us may be aware of the growing obesity epidemic that we have here in America, and a lot of that has correlations with processed food. A lot of these processed foods are packaged with added salts, sugars, and other chemicals which give the food a longer shelf life and a better taste. It is crucial to note these synthetic preservatives have chemicals which are linked to cancer, diabetes, and as well as heart disease. There are also added sugars which can be disguised as ingredients known as high fructose corn syrup, or you might have heard of something called dextrose, and both these sugars can wreak havoc on your insulin. Insulin is a hormone responsible for fat storage in your body. So when we consume these processed foods, our body is taking in these sugars, our insulin spikes, and our body is automatically put into fat storing mode. Now, processed meat is also known to contain various hormones as well as steroids. These injecting hormones make the animals bigger, which yields a larger amount of meat for these manufacturers to sell to the public. Now, what some of us don't know is that the hormones that are given to these animals, we consume them as well, and our hormones can be thrown off balance as well. A lot of us are also unaware of the animal cruelty which goes on behind the doors of the industrial meat market. Unsanitary conditions for the animals are very prevalent amongst many meat manufacturers. Not only are meats affected, but fruits and vegetables as well. They are sprayed with potent pesticides which are harmful to our health, the environment, and they also reduce the nutrient density of our fruits and vegetables by over 50%. Those who are at most risk to these pesticides are fetuses. The pesticides play a detrimental role in the immune system of a fetus, and they are also linked to behavioral as well as developmental disorders. Pesticides also contain pro-estrogenic properties. They can cause disastrous consequences for males and are of even greater danger for women. So summed up, processed foods are low in quality, they're high in calories, and they are an insignificant source of essential nutrients. Alright, the organic food is considered to be the better alternative when it comes to physical health for many reasons. The obvious ones being that meats are not injected with these artificial hormones, there's an absence of pesticides on all fruits and vegetables, and better living conditions for the animals in which we harvest meat as well as dairy. Now, the lack of added preservatives as well as added sugars makes it easier for one to eat cleaner, live healthier, and keep unwanted weight gain out of the picture. Now, believe it or not, both these foods have a huge impact on our environment. Every step of the industrial food process carries a consequence to our environment. Transport, packaging, storage, as well as distribution all contribute to environmental damage. During this process, there's a lot of waste as well as hazardous materials in which severe pollution is accumulated, some of which are dumped into our lands and not disposed of properly. Also, pesticides have to constantly be altered and made stronger year after year due to bacteria becoming more resistant to them. And these pesticides become so strong that it causes unforgiving consequences to the soil and contributes to erosion. Organic farming, on the other hand, is a lot better for the environment. It is shown to improve the quality of soil, it combats erosion, it supports water conservation, and it fights against the effects of global warming. The Organic Trade Association states that if every farmer in the US converted to organic farming, 500 million pounds of harmful pesticides would be prevented from entering our environment every year. Now, although there is a clear problem with the industrial processed food industry and its negative health effects, as well as affecting our environment and overall well-being of all American people, organic foods remain inferior to processed foods, and it is seen drastically in the revenue taken every year. In some ways, I feel that it is impossible to survive without genetically modified foods and industrial processed foods. Due to the reason that we have a high population throughout the world, it's easier to ship these out to places throughout America as well as globally. That the population is also steadily increasing, and if we were all to go back to the times of hunting for our own food, wildlife, forestry, as well as plants would become non-existent. So it's a hard choice to make, or industrial or organic, the choice is yours.